I'm Tom.
And we are VIMTV Velocities Music. Today we're going to do Cage the Elephant's new album from 2011. Thank you, happy birthday. Thank you, Cage the Elephant, because you've now completely made me listen to all my favorite bands all in one album for about, 12 tracks for 3 or 4 times in a row. So I think that there's just so many style references here that it's almost overboard. In fact, I'd go as far as to say that it's not even style references at some point, Tom, right?
Yeah.
Modest Mouse, Built to Spill, Weezer, Fountains of Wayne, early Beck. Mm-hmm. I'd even go Beastie Boys.
Pavement, Pixies.
Yes. I mean, it's just, these guys have a very indie rock sound, and they're not scared to show it. And I want to just kind of balance that statement out by saying, well, a lot of these songs are catchy and good, and they do a lot of they give you a lot of variety. Whether they're giving you a song like "Sell Yourself," where they're just screaming at you, and it's really raw and kind of almost early Offspring like,
yeah.
Or whether they're doing something like "Shake Me Down," where it's just this really nice indie pop song. They do kind of bring this general vibe to it that it's not overly serious. Mm-hmm. But unfortunately, what goes with an album that has a vibe of this isn't that serious is that I kind of interpret as this isn't a very serious album, so why should I care? If you don't care, why should I care? If you don't care, why should I care about what you're doing, what you're forcing me to? And unfortunately, I ended up not liking this album very much. Tom, what did you think?
Well, it sounds like I liked it a little bit better than you, but still, really, it's just because there are a few highlight tracks that are really good on here. Honestly, Aberdeen, track 2, one of the best songs I've heard this year. That song, for some reason, in my head, just gets stuck in there.
I absolutely hate that song.
Really? I love that song.
I am so effing sick and tired of hearing bands recreate something Weezer did 20 years ago. I'm sorry, but I've heard Weezer 1,000 million times by a whole bunch of different bands who aren't Weezer. I just want Weezer! Kid Cudi did it! Kid Cudi! He's a rapper! I'm done. That's my bet.
So, I really like that song. But anyway, I can understand where you're coming from. But really, I mean, there's just too many spots. It was balanced out with all these parts on this album that just actively bothered me. The first time I heard track 3, Indie Kids, it was the most obnoxious thing ever. Which is a shame because really the instrumentals on this album I think do a great job. Like there's a kick-ass bass line breakdown in the middle of that song that's really grooving and cool, but then the vocalist is like,
and the whole point of that is the satire of the song.
Yes, oh absolutely. Don't think I don't get the point, the statement that he's making about indie kids. You have to have the right haircut and yada yada. I mean, it's cool, but explain to me why that means I should like the way it sounds. Right. Explain to me why that means I should like the music, because I just don't in that song. Mm-hmm. And there's some other spots, 2024 and Sell Yourself. The screams he does, they sound weak. Mm-hmm. They don't sound very mature. And just overall, there are a lot of moments like that, and what it comes down to is that he's taking risks. The vocalist is taking risks, trying to do something edgy and different, and honestly, I appreciate that venturesome attitude, but I just don't think he executes it very well. And
he's a pretty personable guy, too.
Yeah.
And from what I've seen in the videos that I've watched and his lyrics here and his just general approach to the vocals that he provides on Thank You, Happy Birthday, he is a very just generally accessible guy, and it's something that I think that's helping create a lot of buzz around this album and this band for that matter, which I think these guys show some talent, but I just don't think that this album is just very good. I think that there's a lot of tracks that are just generally not very strong, and most of the references that they cite, you're gonna be better off and probably have a much better time if you go and take this and maybe listen to this and use it as like a gateway drug to the other bands like Modest Mouse, Built to Spill, Weezer, Pavement, all these other bands that we're citing that we hear in this, and this is the things that we like, but this is all coming from somewhere, and there's other bands out there that are doing it better. I don't think Cage the Elephant on Thank You, Happy Birthday really makes that much of an effort to do something original, to make Cage the Elephant's sound. Now, Where I contradict myself in that statement is the closer, Flow, which I think is a really, really good song.
Yeah.
I noticed, Tom, you picked it as a track pick. I should have picked it as a track pick. But I think that's where Cage the Elephant actually says, hey, this is what we are. I wish they would have done more. And that's more of a subdued, kind of laid-back song. And that's what I think that these guys really are. I understand that they can rock out and that they like to do a lot of just, fun songs and just have a good time, and it's not that serious. But I'm sorry, guys. For music to mean something, it has to be a little bit more serious than what Cage the Elephant leads on Thank You, Happy Birthday.
Yeah, I'll buy that.
What do you guys think? Did you guys like this? Did this to you feel more serious than what I'm giving it or Tom's giving it credit for? Because it sounds like Tom and I are both about the same spot. And I'm feeling like a 59 on this one.
I'm going to go 61, so it'll just even out right at 60.
And that's what this is. There's some good things here, but it's getting into that area where they need to improve on some things to really make a good album. And I don't feel like this is a good album. And generally, I would not recommend this to you. I would want to see you go listen to some other of the influences that this references. What did you think? Think the same thing?
Yeah.
So tell us what you guys think. If you guys like this and disagree with us, I'd love to have a conversation with you online. Maybe we could even video chat sometime about it. That would be awesome, to do some video chatting with you friends. Let us know if you're interested. I'm Jake.
I'm Tom.
And we are BIMTV. Thanks for watching, everybody. We are moving music critique forward.